Maguire, and thank you for leading the smoking ceremony at lunch one today. Welcome to Ms. Jessica Shaw, guests, staff and students. I would like to invite Mr. Maguire to address the Assembly.
Good evening, everybody. How are we all going? I always say good evening no matter what time of the day it is. I like the evenings. But what's also important to and interesting is that I'd like to thank Ellenbrook Secondary College for inviting me here to do this late ceremony and also the welcome to the country. Got a 10-minute space to do the welcome. And usually, traditional times, welcome to the country took a couple of days. What's the principle? We won't do that today. But traditionally speaking, in traditional times, those things did take place. But for programs that we have and we present to the broader community and people that come visiting our country, it's welcome to usually take time within the program and so forth. And so I'd like to now welcome this here to the land of NAIDOC people. Yarba. Kaya nung kaya kinicha, kinicha kulongan nung kumba nung nam ya. Ichi nang kabuja wajak nung bebungan. Kura nang kajaman ka nung kan. Kalau ini kinicha, nang bunga budi ya kinicha. We kalau nuni mam bichuru kong manda bal nuni wilum yayin. Nang kaya kinicha. Kini nol kemam nyok kumba maju nol dia kini kalau punya wajah kumam itu. Kura kalau ke mur kalau begini ni buat balik juga kan tunggu. Kalau buang ni buat kalau para nol wujud kura nol kini nol kejenga. Anjir ni nol kuru nol para nol dalam kartu ni kalau buat tidak dalam kartu ni. Ini corona area, yang kemana di dalam kue ini yang kuat, kalau kuat ini yang dalam corona area. Kau coba ngambil berbuat dengan kue, dengan kejana, kata, dengan dalam kue dengan kue. Warna yang dengan kalah pun, belum jaya, dengan kejadian dengan kemur, kurang, nombor cumuni juga. Mam ya, dia punya mam kan, kuat kalau kembali dan juga kerja. Selain itu, welcome to the land of the NAIDOC people. People say we've been here for 45,000 years, 65,000 years. Some people are even saying 120,000 years. Our elders, our other people that have passed on, that have taught us, we have been here before time itself began. And we still stand here as traditional owners, as first people on this land. And as we stand here, we welcome people from other countries to come here and also call this place their home. So nunuk maman wang, nunuk mam yak, nunuk dalam kumba, nunuk buka more buka bog, nunuk yuan, nunuk more nunuk jadi cara more display. So many cultures from many parts of the world have come, and they now call the name of the NAIDOC people their homelands as well. And as we share this land, we work together, we live together, we study together in this beautiful college, secondary education in Ellenbrook. Also, the place we call Indigenous is the new name for this area. So as we welcome you here, put your back up and at the graduate because you're going to keep you safe. That's your families and loved ones, each other, look after each other. And then I usually ask this question, anybody been to Kakarama? I ask the question just now about at the smoking ceremony, anybody been to the Bunabara? And the Bunabara is also known as the person who brought us. Anybody been to the Toilet Bay? And that's a couple of people put their hands up. So people getting to know the first names of locations, like the NAIDOC people. And Matilda Bay is known to us as Goodwood. So I also asked the place we call Kakarama, which is very, very important for a lot of NAIDOC people. And So Kakarap is also known to a lot of people, but known by the second name as King's Park. So one regard on Kakarap. Students are going to sing you a song of blessing for the blessed week of the Kakarap, also known as King's Park. It's a place that home will aspire. May it be a blessing for you as it goes on your journey, as you go on your journey in education. And you are the leaders of tomorrow, that you will go strong in understanding this land, and how important this land is to everyone. So, when I speak in my language, I say, no, you're going to want to go on Barclay, there are none of the young. May this song be a blessing for you on your journey of education and life for your families. Students, ladies and gentlemen, as you walk on this land, we take care. God bless you and keep you safe. Take you home safely to your families and loved ones. And if you see us around this area, maybe on the river, doing tours and telling people their first story that you're around like Aboriginal people, say hello. Whatever you can, we tell them, share with you. It's a good day. Okay. God bless. Have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you again, Mr. Walter Maguire. The Aspire to Choir is now going to perform Woman Jacob, a welcome to country song we were taught whilst we were in Queensland. It is sung in Wadwarong, the Indigenous Australian language of the Kulin Nation people from the Yarra River Basin in Victoria.
Our land abounds
Please be seated. I would now like to introduce Dr. Peter Howell.
Thanks to the Aspire Choir. Welcome to Jess Shaw, our local member. And thanks to Walt and Wyatt for our welcome country. Now, NAIDOC originally stood for National Aborigines and Islanders Day Observance Committee. This committee was once responsible for organising national activities during NAIDOC Week, and it's an acronym that has since become the name of the week itself. Local community celebrations during NAIDOC Week are encouraged and often organised by communities, government agencies, local councils and schools like us. Now, NAIDOC Week celebrations are held across Australia each July. And they celebrate the history, culture and achievements of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders people. And NAIDOC is celebrated not only in Indigenous communities but by Australians of all walks of life. As we head in our welcome country, many of us have come across from distant lands. This week we have taken the opportunity to run a range of activities that support our local Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders community. And a smoking ceremony was held today. Now, the theme of this year's NAIDOC Week is Voice, Treaty and Truth, those three words. Voice. The voice includes the first words spoken on this continent. It is here languages that have been passed down in the transmission of the law, culture and knowledge over the millennia. They are precious to our nation. It's that Indigenous voice that includes know-how, practices, skills, innovations found in a wide variety of contexts, such as agriculture, scientific, technical, ecological and medicinal fields, as well as biodiversity-related knowledge. They are words that connect to country, an understanding of country and of the people who are the oldest continuing culture on this planet. Now, treaty, Makaraka, I don't even know if I pronounced that correctly, but I should have checked. But there you go. Is a word from the language of the Longu people in Arnhem Land and captures the idea of two parties coming together after a struggle, healing divisions of the past. It's about acknowledging that something has been done wrong and it seeks to make things right. Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people want their voice to be heard. The First Nations were excluded from the constitutional conventional debates in the 1800s when the Australian Constitution came into force. Indigenous people were excluded from the bargaining table, and Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people have always wanted an enhanced role in decision making in Australian democracy. When the Europeans settled in Australia, there were no treaties, no formal settlements or compacts made. The Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people did not cede their sovereignty of their land. It was taken away from them and remains a continuing source of dispute. Australia is one of the few liberal democracies around the world which still does not have a treaty of any kind of formal acknowledgement or arrangement with its Indigenous minorities. A substantive treaty has always been the primary aspiration of the Aboriginal and Torres Island movement. And that comes to truth. Treaties are inseparable from truth. Lasting and effective agreements cannot be achieved unless we share a truthful understanding of the nature of the dispute and how we got here where we stand today. The true story of the colonisation is seen as needing to be told, heard and acknowledged. I'll never forget walking around Victoria and you go up to some sites and you read the information about that sites and they say thousands of Aboriginal people died here of smallpox. And you read about how there was such a large population and the current population is so small, and it was some of the diseases we brought from Europe. So hearing this history is necessary before we can come to some sort of true reconciliation where there is a genuine healing on both sides. And of course it's not just about history of our first people, it is our history. It's the history of all of Australia. The call of NAIDOC is to work together for a shared future, and that's exactly what Walter talked about. And we thank him. Thank you.
My name is Caleb. I'm a young Palawan man from Tasmania. For me, NAIDOC Week is a way to celebrate my culture, and it's a time to develop my knowledge and understanding in a positive way. This year's NAIDOC theme is Voice, Treaty, Truth. I come from a place where our voice was almost destroyed. Events like NAIDOC Week and the activities that I participated in at school this week have given me the opportunity to not only make links with my culture and explore my understandings, but has also helped me to develop a stronger relationship with my cultural identity. I especially enjoyed learning with Neil Klein last term. This allowed me to experience traditions in the Noongar culture. He challenged me and other Aboriginal students to learn more about our culture and share it with everyone in the community. We all participated in some dance with Neil Klein. We shared his stories and Noongar culture, and he invited us all to proudly be a part of his spiritual, cultural dance. In the past, opportunities like this have been limited to me and many other Aboriginal kids who may have lost links to their family and their place. Through lessons in our English class this week, I'm sure we all now know that NAIDOC stands for National Aboriginal and Islander Day celebration, and the theme this year is Voice, Treaty and Truth. NAIDOC Week was celebrated all over Australia between 8th and the 14th of July by all Australians and not just Indigenous communities. It is about recognising the Indigenous voice of this country, a voice that has remained proud for over 65,000 years. Our languages were the first spoken words on this continent. They were words that pass on culture and knowledge, and they are significant for all First Nation people. For me, this means that, like many other Aboriginal people, I have unfortunately never been given the opportunity to learn and speak in language. So voice to me means not only being heard, but being recognised and acknowledged. And I hope one day, maybe, that I'll have a really deep connected knowledge of my culture and the ability to be able to pass it on to future generations. I have been fortunate this week to have a brief introduction to some Aboriginal activities. And then I had a great time. I'm proud to be celebrating NAIDOC Week at our school today. For me, I feel honoured to have our culture acknowledged by my peers, my school, and society as a whole. I look forward to next year's celebrations and future opportunities to explore my culture at school. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening.
Can we have another round of applause for Caleb? Because that was extremely Thank you, Caleb. The Aspire Choir would now like to perform Nintu Jaku Nanampa Nuraku, which means learn about our country in Pintupi region, one of the languages from the Western Desert. The text of the song was written by the children and the elders of 7 different Indigenous communities and composed by Ashley Clapp for our school.
Thank you.
Well done, guys. You know how proud we are of you. I would now like to welcome Kiali Joseph to speak.
My name is Kiali Joseph. I am a young Torres Strait Islander woman. My culture has played a very important role in making me the person I am today. My family and extended family have taught me that family relationships and obligations should be respected and nurtured. The Torres Strait Islands are a group of about 274 small islands distributed across the large area of ocean off the Queensland coast. But not all islanders live on the Torres Strait Islands. Large communities of Torres Strait Islanders live in Queensland, both on the mainland state and also on the islands. Many live in the beautiful rainforest area of Cairns and also Townsville. If you walked past the yarning circle today or participated in the smoking ceremony, you would have seen our flag. The centerpiece is our traditional headpiece, the dari. It is a feathered headdress and it is a significant cultural symbol. We use short songs and dance to tell cultural stories and use rattles made of beans and nuts and do not use the didgeridoo like mainland Aboriginals. We have a history of being a strong warrior nation. I have been fortunate to learn firsthand about the traditions and stories of my people. I have learned to be proud and strong in my sense of identity and belonging. It has encouraged my independence and questioning nature and my desire to succeed in everything that I do. Standing here in front of you today, telling my story, makes me feel respected, accepted, and valued in our school community. It tells me my story counts. Truth is the second element in this year's NAIDOC theme. The idea that Aboriginal people want to explore is the truth about their history, their heritage, and their spiritual links to the land. This truth is not only about our cultural history, but also the history of post-colonial Australia, which includes all of our histories. I hope that by reflecting on the past, we can make a united Australian future where all races are included and valued. Thank you for listening to my story.
Thank you, Kiali. Kaya. My name is Nurulia, and today we are here to acknowledge the Indigenous Australian culture and to recognise the diversity of cultures that we have here at the college. Personally, culture has always been an important aspect of my life, and as many of you can agree, we take this on from our parents, grandparents, and even from our ancestors years ago. As a child of two Malaysian-born parents, I have always been exposed to the traditions in which I have proudly taken on and shared. With such a diverse community in which we have, it makes it easier for us to not only share, but to explore and learn about other cultures that make up the country today. Like Harmony Day, NAIDOC Week is where all Australians celebrate the history, culture and achievements of the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. The third element of the NAIDOC Week theme is treaty. So what is treaty? Well, I think it is about the recognition of our First Nation people, people who have significant cultural links to our land for over tens of thousands of years. In English class this year, we have been privileged to consider and study a wide range of perspectives on many issues, in particular issues surrounding our cultural diversity and indigeneity. Our teacher, Ms. Jones, gave a voice to all perspectives and ideas, sharing her own cultural journey. I believe that reconciliation is a way to acknowledge past histories and move towards a new future. Just like the smoking ceremony conducted today by Aboriginal Elder Mr. Walter Maguire, it was an opportunity to clear spaces of negativity and create a place of harmony. The Yarning Circle, located in the school, is a perfect place to sit during lunches, meet new friends, share stories, or simply admire the traditional culture of the First Nation people. At its heart, reconciliation is about strengthening relationships between Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and non-Indigenous people for the benefit of all Australians. To be able to celebrate the Aboriginal culture here today is to ensure understanding and discussions continue to flourish in our school, through education in our classrooms, and by opening the doors for all cultures to celebrate in our fortunate, culturally diverse community and nation. I would like to end my talk today by restating this year's NAIDOC theme: Voice, Treaty, Truth. Let's work together for a shared future. Thank you.
Can we thank Nuria and Kiali again, please? I now welcome Natasha Eldridge and Benny Hassler to speak and perform for you.
Kaya, thanks so much for having me today, Ellenbrook, and Benny for the invitation. Thanks, Uncle Walter, for that beautiful welcome to country. So, my name is Natasha Eldridge. I'm a Wajak Falun Yoga. In 2018, I was contacted by a Perth Working Group team leader from the Uluru Statement from the Heart. She asked me if I could write a song to help in any way bring awareness to the Uluru Statement from the Heart. The statement is for an establishment of First Nations voice enshrined in the Constitution, our people talking for our people, a Makarrata Commission, a truth telling about our history, because when the truth is told, it brings healing to our people, and we can work together for a shared and better future. So it all tied in perfectly for the NAIDOC theme as well for 2019, which was Voice, Treaty and Truth. I wrote my verse and my chorus, but I felt like it needed to be more powerful, being such a powerful statement. So I thought maybe a rapper, and who better to ask than Benny Bajar. So I rang Benny and asked him, and he came on board. And this is our song that's called Statement from the Heart. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
How you doing out there in the city? Can everyone clap their hands? That's it. Everyone go up.
Cause we don't need
Natasha and Benny. What a way to end an assembly. Thank you again to Mr. Walter Maguire for his welcome to country, to our courageous speakers and our fabulous performers. Thank you to all of you for being a polite and attentive audience. Please remain seated as our guests are now invited to leave.